The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinePodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to another episode of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Each week, she travels to incredible wine destinations, interviewing some of the Italian wine scene's most interesting personalities, talking about wines, the foods, as well as the incredible travel destinations.
We have a small chat. I have a group chat on WhatsApp. It's called Il Modello Siciliano. I'm unveiling all of our secrets. So in July, we had a little meeting. I had this idea because I feel like I'm a little bit Sicilian. I don't look it. Antonio, what do they call me in Sicily? What's my name in Sicily?
Akim.
Akim. Okay. I even have a Sicilian name, right? So there's a great affinity. I mean, I love these guys. I think I met them in the very beginning of my Italian wine career. I'll show you how I met them and why I fell in love with them immediately. Regia, la prima foto, grazie. So this is how I met them. Can you guys see? What do they have in their hand? I found out when I met them that the BlackBerry was still in business because of the Sicilians. I was like, it's impossible that the BlackBerry was still in business. But they had cornered the market of BlackBerry, okay? This is how I met them. I can't remember, where was this? I think it was in Veldura or something, right?
Sicilian Premier, Shack.
Yeah, this is the first time I was able to participate in Sicilia on Premier. By the way, if any of you would like to participate, don't contact me. Contact Assovini, Mr. Planeta, to your right. Okay, the gentleman. Oh, by the way, he's the winemaker of the year. Have you heard about that? Okay, so right now, I don't have a video. I wanted to show you a video, but what we're going to do is this. The format is the following. First, I have these gentlemen, Alessio Planeta, of course, the owner of Planeta Winery. But also today, I would like him to talk to us a little bit about Assovini. Okay? So you're going to have a little overview of what Sicilian promotion looks like through these three representative organizations. And then it's going to be Mr. Rallo. He's also Antonio. It's like the three A's. Alessio, Antonio, Alberto. So Antonio is going to talk to you a little bit about Sicily TOC and what they've been up to lately. And then lastly, Alberto will talk to you about his passion, which is this new foundation called SOStain, all about sustainability. So we're going to do a brief overview through these three gentlemen, the three Siciliani, of these three organizations. And then we're going to do a little Q&A. After they do a brief, short overview of their organization, and then we're going to do the following, okay? Each one of them will ask the other two one question, and I will also ask each of them a question. That means we will have 9 questions. And if there's time, then we will open to also the audience.
The idea today was to talk about, from our point of view, what's going on in Sicily in the last years. A few times ago, there was a meeting, and we said that we Sicilian, we have done right things every 10 years. That could be good results, or depending by their point of view. Just to give you an idea what was Sicily before. When our previous generation started to work, so in the 80s, Sicily was full of wine. Sicily was 140,000 hectares of vineyards. We were largest in Australia, and the percentage of Sicilian wine that was bottled and sold as something serious. So Sicily was full of wine, full of vineyards, with a very difficult time. There were a group of people that start to rethink Sicily in a new way. One of the start of this was when my uncle Diego, in the middle of 80s, became president of IRVOS. IRVOS was a typical Sicilian public organization that, with Diego as president, makes something at that time very special. I remember one, for example. Sicily was the first Italian wine region that came here to Vinitaly in a regional stand. They made, in the typical Vinitaly style, a last-minute tent at the entrance of the wine fair, and all Sicily was there. This was something that was one of the first things. And then at that time, Sicily started to have ideas coming from outside. We have 3 consultants at that time: Giacomo Takis in winemaking, Attilio Scienza in viticulture, and Gianpaolo Fabris in marketing. And there was a start of people there that make a company that really started a revolution of Sicilian wine. It was a big group with great masters and with a great energy. And this was the start. And when a few years later the IRVOS start to be a little bit, goes a little bit slowly, a group of people, again our families, start to think of something new. And this new thing was Assovini. Assovini is an association that at the beginning was only done by a few people, a few producers, with a very clear idea. The idea was to do something first, very important, that is a word that sometimes we Italians don't use in the right thing, that is lobby. Lobby in terms of having a common table, a common room, an organization that can talk to the politics, because we in Sicily live in Sicily is a regione autonoma, so it means that we do our own laws, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. And so to be there, to try to discuss with the politics, with the people that govern agriculture, is very important. The second big project was to go together in the markets, to help the Sicilian wineries that at that time Sicily was very far from the market in a dimension that today we cannot realize, but we were very far from the rest of the market. And we started going first together to Vinitaly. Still today, Assovini organized Vinitaly for all the producers, and organized an event called Sicilian Premier that was and still is really, really crucial for the development of Sicilian wine. Sicilian Premier is 1 week every year in a different location of Sicily, every year in a location that leave memories to people, because we usually choose, thanks to our network of knowing Sicily as our pocket.
But how is it organized exactly?
How?
Sicilia on Prima for the magari. We have a lot of ambassadors at Lodge.
We organize 1 week. The first 4 days, journalists do 9 different tours of the producers. And the last 3 days, we stay all together, and there is like typical Premier testing, and then some seminars, some very important meetings where we describe the harvest, and then we also usually talk about something new. For example, this year we talk a lot about the potential of wine tourism in Sicily with all the things that happened in the last years. And Assovini, slowly, today they are 100 producers, 70 millions of bottles, something like 20,000 hectares with more than 30% in organic. Most of them are deeply involved in wine tourism. And also there is something like a common sense of doing wine business. And this is, for me, the great idea that was behind Assovini. There is an exchange of experience. We go together to many wine events. And Assovini was, for me, very important, especially in a moment where in Sicily, the consortia were or not existing, or too slow, or too small, or not very active. And what I like to say, that what's happening in Assovini is in some way what we do in our wineries. Just a few slides that show our place. Okay, let's go on. Planeta is in 5 different places in Sicily, and we are since 2010 certified SOStain, but Alberto will say.
What about the Grande Famiglia Sicilia?
Yeah, and we are also certified organic. And every place that we are in 5 different areas of Sicily, in Menfi, that is here, in Vittoria, Noto, in Etna, and the last one is in Capo Milazzo. It's an example of the diversity of Sicily that was an inspiration for Planeta. It's an inspiration for all the producers of Assovini. It's a big challenge of Sicily, because when we try to talk about Sicily, we have to describe a very complex place.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Alessio. We're going to move right on to Mr. Rallo here, Mr. Sicily DOC.
Thank you, Stevie. I want to, first of all, thank you and Veneto International for the invitation, of course. All the board of the DOC Sicilia is happy about that. I'll try. I know a lot about Tasca.
This is what happens.
I know most of the secret of Tasca and Planeta, of course. By the way, this is the way we improve every day. So, of course, Assovini was a fantastic project. Putting together a bunch of Sicilian producers was not so easy at the beginning, but thanks to the first generation of Sicilian that start putting all the energy together to go to the next step. So Diego, Lucio, and Giacomo, my father.
For those of us who don't know who Diego and Giacomo and Lucio, can you explain which father belongs to which family?
Diego.
Okay, Diego was your uncle, Diego Planeta.
And Lucio Tasca, of course, the father of Alberto, and Giacomo, my father. They got, more or less, I think they were born more or less the same time. Unfortunately, today they passed away, but they really give us the way to go to the next level. So they start the idea of protect and promote Sicily more than we can do with the Assovini. Go to the next step was going to a new project, Sicilia DOC, protecting and promoting the biggest value that we got in Sicily, that is the name of our island. The strongest brand that we can have as Sicilian, one of the strongest that we got in Italy. The most powerful one in terms of awareness is, of course, Italia, and then we got Toscana, and immediately after Sicilia, and then nothing else. So we started working on this project. Of course, it was not so easy, because Assovini today is 100 different wineries. Producer, Consorzio DOC Sicilia is something much, much bigger, as I will show you. And so it took something like 10 years to reach finally the appellation in 2011. First vintage was 2012. In June, we built up the consortium. And then in 2014, we had the chance to be as well a consorzio erga omnes, so to have the right to promote and work on the appellation. So today we got more than 8,000 families that are producing grape, and more than 500 wineries that are bottling the wine. So quite big, more than almost 25,000 hectares, so really big. And just going back to how big is Sicily in terms of vineyards, we got about 97,000 hectares, so 3 times more than New Zealand, as big as South Africa and Germany. And something that is really important as well, that thanks to a fantastic climate condition, we are growing over 26,000 hectares organic, plus another 16,000 hectares with herbicide and chemical fertilizer. So, of course, this is an asset for my friend Alberto that is going to talk later on about sustainability. Well, I think that, of course, putting together 100 wineries together is not so easy, especially in Italy. Putting together 8,000 is even more difficult. But thanks to all the efforts that we put together with Alberto, Alessio, first of all, because we are here together, but with all the other members of the board, we really started a fantastic project. That is not only a project that gives us the opportunity to promote Sicily DOC, but as well all the other small, unique terroir with unique small DOC appellation. As a matter of fact, when we built up Sicilia DOC, we thought that, of course, we had to share the value of our fantastic brand, Sicilia. So we gave the chance to the other appellation to put in the label Sicilia as well. So there are lots of different small appellations like Vittoria, Cerasuolo, today Etna, to Menfi, Contessa Entellina, they can show Sicilia in the label. And of course, Sicilia is much more familiar to consumers all over the world than a small appellation as Contea di Sclafani or Contessa Entellina, for sure.
Okay, but just quickly, besides the sheer size of Sicilia DOC and Assovini, what are the main differences in terms of, the functionality?
Yeah, of course, Assovini is a group of mainly family. They got vineyards, they are working in the vineyards, they are bottling the wine, promoting their brands. Consorzio DOC Sicilia, of course, is taking care of the brand Sicilia and is looking to all the producer of Sicily, of course, because DOC Sicilia is including all the vineyards that we got, potentially all the 97,000 hectares that we got in Sicily. And of course, it takes a
Here
lot
it
of
says
time.
24,000.
Yeah, today we are working on 24. 97 is total Sicily.
Okay.
And of course, it's taking a lot of my time as, of course, Alberto and Alessio, this project. And of course, first of all, I got the big support of my wife that is here.
Yes, Barbara, the real
Support me,
boss.
and of course, my family and the people that is in the winery, because only from time to time, and then I got
I
the
have a
chance
question,
to be a
actually.
winemaker and anything else that I support.
Do you guys get paid to be like the presidents or of Sicily DOC or Assovini? You guys make a lot of money doing that?
Sometimes we got a chance to have a coffee, a bottle of water, wines. Yes, we share wines. Yeah, that's something that we do usually.
Friendship,
Friendship? Okay, that's,
priceless.
yeah, okay.
No, of course, no, we are not paid.
Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that they do this because they believe in the cause and the passion for promoting Sicily in general. That is it. Okay, so now you can finally, regia, puoi finalmente mettere tasca. Okay.
Finalmente.
Okay, you're the last. Best for last.
Good morning to everybody. Thanks to the presidents Mattarella, to the presidents of the Vinitaly.
What do you mean, Mattarella?
No, everybody.
Is he still
No,
alive?
thank you to everybody. Thank you, Stevie, to inviting us. And just a few words about who we are. Even Tasca is a family company, a small family company. We work in wine since the 1830. And we are going around Sicily in 5 different states, even us. We love 5, from east to west, from Mozia, where the Foundation Whitaker has the vineyards, beautiful vineyards of Grillo, and Selè della Tour is close to Palermo in the appellation Monreale. The altitude is for Syrah. Then the state of Regaliali was our first estate in the middle of nowhere in Sicily. And Tascante is on Etna and Capofaro in the Eolia Highlands. So you will see all the brand and the label without Tasca. So we are really focused on trying to valorize the territory. And we, as with our friends Planeta, we start in 2010 to work on sustainability and really hard with a protocol that is called SOStain. And in 2023, we became also B Corp. B Corp doesn't take care about agriculture in general. It's a little bit against agriculture and thinking that agriculture makes a bad impact. And so it's a really tough certification, and we achieved it this year after a really hard work. So talking about the Modello Siciliano, what happened to, and my idea, the first was, this is the original flag of the separatism in 1948.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, but
This is a real flag?
it's a real flag in Canapa. But this is exactly what we are not. We are not separatists at all. So the model of Sicily is really it's really inclusive. And I have to say again, thanks to these 3 guys. So Diego Planeta, Lucio Tasca, and Giacomo Rallo, that's the picture of them in the vineyard. So I think they teach to us how to stay together, how to look and be proud about what we do and try to bring Sicily in a proud way all around the world. And I think we have to really thank them for that. So it's totally against separatism, but be part of a great made in Italy. So this is what we do and what we try to do. In 2020, during pandemic, our meetings were like one every day. So there's nothing to do, but we had a lot of meetings. And so, those 2 guys are really hard worker, and then made a lot of virtual meeting. And so we decided to create a foundation of Fondazione SOStain Sicilia, a foundation that has to take care about ethics and sustainability and practice and method around Sicily. The first things of the foundation that was thinking about the governance. This is something that I think is really important. The governance has to be really clear without any conflict of interest. It's a no-profit company, recognized, and all of us work on it as voluntaries, so nobody is paying us, we were mentioned before. We keep a strong protocol on sustainability that is really tough and hard, and has to be certified by an independent certification
How many
company.
members?
Oh, now we are 40 wineries. Yes, and 24 of them are already certificated, and 3 are coming probably this month. So all the hectares, in terms of hectares of vineyards that are associated to the foundation, is 33,000 hectares. And already 5,700 are certificated, and 21,342,093 bottles are certified. I'm so proud about that. The nice thing of the foundation is, once again, we share the table. So we have some important table that are all our managers that stay together to find a problem, and we have an independent scientific center where we give to them problem, they have to come with a solution, we adopt the solution. So it's a way to share the commonwealth of Sicily, and that's really great. So those are, the other point is a lot of research and try to develop problem and to solve issue, but even take care together about some social issue that we have. We have done 3 examples of project. One is a very, very nice, thanks to Antonio that pushed the button, that we made in Sicily. So now with the company, it's called OI, has an industry in Marsala. They produce a bottle that is with lightweight, totally produced with recycled glass in Sicily. So now we keep going on this project. The bottles are in the market, keep going with trying to put together 371 small town around Sicily to keep the glass and have all the glass to be recycled.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local foods, and taking in the scenery. Now, back to the show.
Another project is in accordance with Amorim, trying to recycle all the cork that we use in all our tasting, in all our wineries. And there is another super nice project with Allianz, the insurance, that we are working with 2 foundations that take care about people with mental problem and guys that are on the road with problems. So all our staff are dedicating them the way to teach how to do marketing, how to work in a wineries, how to cultivate a green garden, and how to sell it, to let them become independent. And so this is something, just few examples of what we are doing all together, and that's why probably together is better. And this is the United Sicilian Company, the member of SOStain.
Alrighty, thank you very much. How many of you, no, Giulia, come here. Okay. How many of you know who Giulia is? Just 3 people, 4 people. Okay, that's good.
My fun.
Okay, so first of all, how many of you have seen White Lotus? A few more people. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, White Lotus was one of the most successful HBO series of all time. Okay. Okay, so how many of you who have seen White Lotus realize that this took place in Etna? Okay. And how many of you knew it was in Planeta? Okay. And Giulia, who is the Psalm, you work for Planeta, right?
Definitely not.
Okay. Who do you work for?
Tasca.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now you can descend. Okay. Now I wanted to make a point here because this is what I love about Sicily. Okay. This hugely successful series on HBO, especially for the Americans, but worldwide. First of all, these guys work really hard. Okay. But they also have this, what we call fattore C, right? They worked extremely hard, but this hugely successful series was located in Etna, in Taormina, and Sicily. I'd like for you guys to understand this, my rationale of why I'm showing you this. First of all, Giulio, he's actually an estate manager for Tasca. And, you can ask, Alessio and Tasca how this film came to being. That's not as important as what it represents. Because he's a estate manager for Tasca, but he was pouring Planeta's wine in the Planeta winery.
I'm not happy about that.
Huh?
I'm not happy at all.
Okay. But this, I think it happened because they're friends, right? Because as you know, my main preoccupation is that Italian wine is like Italian wine people, right? Incredibly creative, incredibly talented, imaginative, but they're also very individualistic, right? And Sicily, I wanted to bring to you today this Modello Siciliano because I think the success of Sicily, it's kind of emblematic of these three gentlemen because they work hard to promote Sicily. And the fact that this movie, I was having an incredible discussion with a professor in Palermo. I don't know if you've heard about that. So what happened was there was a panel with the illustrious professor and myself. I'm so bad with professors. And I brought this example of White Lotus. It has not only augmented the visibility of Etna, not only Taormina, but the entire region of Sicily. For me, it's the same model as the three wineries. They also are the engine for entire group of Sicily. So the professor said, it's really a shame. You haven't heard about this? So he said, it's really a shame. Italian professor from Palermo, very famous professor, okay? And he said, it's really a damn shame because White Lotus, maybe commercially it's been very successful, but more tourism to Sicily. But the main protagonists, Italians, were puttane and also lesbica depressa. Okay, he said, che peccato. So my reply to this was that Hollywood, until actually White Lotus, had portrayed Sicily as basically the Godfather. That was Hollywood version of Sicily. Okay, and I think White Lotus has brought up in terms of brand positioning of Sicily to a different level, to luxury, to beautiful places, beautiful people. And I said to him, I would much prefer puttane and una lesbica depressa over mafiosi anytime, because I think that kind of brand positioning is much better and has benefited Sicily. So with that, I'll start with a question, okay? And then you guys do the questions. Did you want to say something, Alessio?
No, this is when Stevie starts to walk on the ice.
Okay, so I have a question. I bought these guys. One thing I wanted to share with you is that when I met them, they were at a phase, they were in a critical moment where there was this famous rites of passage, the passaggio generazionale, as they would call it, between Diego, Giacomo, and Lucio. I was so impressed because I didn't understand wine business at all, and they transitioned immediately into the next generation. At the same time, is that correct? More or less? More or less. Right? And I was so impressed with that. The second thing that I was impressed with these three A's is that they have invested, you've seen their personal estates, right? But they're all in Sicily. So why did you choose not to invest elsewhere? Because a lot of the producers from Tuscany, from Piemonte, from Veneto, they invested in Sicily and elsewhere. Why the three of you have not invested outside of Sicily?
Because we don't have money, first. No, because after spending all our life talking about the beauty of Sicily, how can we do the same talking about the beautiful Tuscany, Piemonte, or whatever? So we were born in Sicily and born in the island, and there was a lot of Sicily to explore when we start. So this is why also we prefer to explore other areas of Sicily instead of going in other place.
Well, Sicily is a continent itself. In terms of vineyards, it's so big. We got so many different terroirs that until today we didn't explore all of it. Any of us, even if we got more or less 500 hectares all around the island, Tasca, Planeta, and Donna Fugata. Of course, there are some more places to explore, so we had no reason to go abroad, because for us, over the Stretto di Messina is abroad still. We are not using any more passport, but in the past we were taking with us.
Yes, I think that we saw the potential of Sicily that was really there. The perception was like us a flat island, and everything thinks that Nero d'Avola was the same Nero d'Avola all around. So there was a really huge potential of place, culture, and things, and I think we got the vision to stay there.
All right, listen, let's give
We
it
have
up
a lot
for
of
these
job for the future.
wonderful guys. Alessio Planeta, Antonio Rallo, and Alberto Tasca. These really great ambassadors for Sicily and Sicilian wine. Ciao ragazzi.
Grazie,
Stevie.
Thank you for joining us on another installment of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Join her again next week for more interesting content in the Italian wine scene. You can also find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. You can also check out our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, to watch these interviews and the footage captured of each location. Chin chin!